Our top focus this hour. Russia is moving ahead with a plan to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus, and Lukashenko says the warheads are already on the move. Putin has repeatedly warned that Russia, which has more nuclear weapons than any other country, will use all means to defend itself. He has cast the Ukraine war as a battle for the survival of Russia against an aggressive West. Here's a look at what the tactical nuclear weapons are and the key elements of the Russia-Belarus agreement. First up here. What are the tactical nuclear weapons? Now, these tactical nuclear weapons typically refer to short-range weapons. The categorization, it also includes land-based missiles with a range of less than 500 kilometers. Tactical nuclear weapons, they also constitute a large percentage of arsenals of the nuclear weapon states. It includes sea-launched weapons with a range of less than 600 kilometers. As well, as I mentioned, these tactical nukes constitute a large percentage of arsenal of nuclear weapon states here, which is important to note. Now, they're also the least regulated category of nuclear weapons covered in arms control agreements. What does that mean? We'll try and understand later. Now, tactical nuclear weapons are subject to an informal regime. Unilateral parallel declarations made by Bush and Gorbachev in 1991. That's important to note here as well. Now, in some aspects, tactical nuclear weapons are more dangerous than strategic weapons. It's considered that their small size, vulnerability to theft, perceived usability, all this adds to them being more dangerous than strategic weapons in some cases. Let's just also compare the tactical nuclear weapons between Russia and the West here. Now, Russia has a huge numerical superiority over the United States and NATO when it comes to tactical warheads. The United States believe Russia has about 2,000 such working tactical warheads. Reports say that what's Russia's latest move here? Let's also try and understand. The United States has around 200 tactical nuclear weapons, half of which are at bases in Europe. Also important here. The U.S. Department, it of course denounced the deployment of this plan between the Kremlin and Belarus, but said that Washington had no intention of a deployment of tactical nuclear weapons. Russia and Belarus agreement here, let's just get into that, marks Kremlin's first deployment of tactical nuclear weapons outside Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union. The U.S. State Department, as I'd mentioned earlier, has denounced this move and has said that it has no intentions of altering the position of tactical nuclear weapons. Now, the United States also says that as of now, there are no signs that Russia is preparing to use a nuclear weapon. Here's what the U.S. State Department spokesperson had to say about this.
I would say that we strongly condemn the arrangement. It's the latest example of irresponsible behavior that we have seen from Russia since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine over a year ago. As we have made clear, the use of chemical, biological, or nuclear weapons in this conflict would be met with severe consequences.
Another important question here, what is the Russia-Belarus agreement all about and what are the implications here? Let's just get into that. Remember, Belarus has borders with 3 NATO members, that's Poland, Lithuania and Latvia. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, that means that the nuclear weapons cannot be transferred to tech or to a non-nuclear power, which is very important to note. But there seems to be a loophole here. A key treaty does allow for the weapons to be deployed outside borders, but the loophole here being but under nuclear powers control. So that is very important to note here. Here is what Alexander Lukashenko had to say on the same. Let's listen in.
Началось перемещение ядерных боеприпасов.
Уже началось.
Уже началось?
Оно уже в Беларуси.
Возможно, я приеду, посмотрю.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.